Do you ever feel othered, on the fringes, put out to pasture, ignored? I was sitting here having coffee. And by the way, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this, and from wherever you're watching it. And I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm Charlie, and this is my channel. And the focus of this channel is to talk about my experiences as a senior citizen, an older person, an old geezer, however we're referred to from your perspective. But I'm a 76-year-old single woman living in the beautiful state of Colorado. And I was just sitting here thinking as I'm drinking my coffee. I love a good cup of coffee. I was thinking about, when did it happen? When did that transaction or transition? When did that transition happen that I fell from the grace of being accepted, sought out? I'm still sought out by employers. That's different. I just chuckle each time I get a recruiting letter, and just for funsies, I called a few of them because I'm 76 years old, and I know they're not aware of that. And interestingly enough, they're still interested in moving ahead with interviews and what have you because of my specific skill sets. I retired from the technology industry, where I spent over 40 years in various capacities and various levels of organizations. I worked for some of the biggest brands, technology names, three-letter companies in the world. And I've traveled extensively. I've done my technology-related work all over, everywhere, not everywhere, but in many countries. And here I've managed projects and programs from thousands to several millions, and programs that would, when you combine all of the projects underneath the programs, would get very close to approaching $1 billion. And when you look at all the projects combined in one program that I managed, several $1 million. So I've had very responsible positions. I've worked or been on assignment in many different industries. So I have a pretty impressive resume, but I'm pretty sick of working for corporations, which is why I just one day in 2014, when I was on contract assignment in Phoenix, Arizona, for working on a large hospital network system, managing that program. And I just decided one day, after a specific incident triggered me to say, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving. And I was well into my 60s. But I started thinking this morning, just because you retire, just because you start growing a few gray hairs, it doesn't change what you know. It doesn't change what you can offer. And it's so interesting. I had this experience at my church, actually, where when I first joined it a few years ago, and they encourage you to get involved in the different ministries. And I had volunteered for administrative work with emphasis on their technology department. And I was looked at like, you're just going to get in the way. What do you think you could actually offer us? And it's so interesting that I'll go to meetings or Bible studies and whatever, and people are struggling with trying to how to figure out how to operate Zoom or how to hook up their devices. And And then I'm the only person who's stepping forward to help them do these things. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, she actually knows a little bit. So when did you get questions. When did you learn how to do this? And oh, I'm impressed. And instead of taking it as a compliment, I really get offended by it because I already said I've worked in the industry for over 40 years. I started in the industry when programming language was Coltran, COBOL, Coltran, COBOL, Fortran, PL1. And we were literally wiring certain devices like card puncher readers and that sort of thing with wires. So, I mean, I grew up with the industry. I was part of the initial internet before it started getting names. And so, anyway, I just started thinking, when did that transition happen? That my existence went from, I view you as a valuable resource, to, oh, you're just going to get in the way because we're going to have to train you. Well, no, sweetheart, I'll be training you. When did that happen? And why did I allow it to make me feel some kind of way? I'm confident in what I know. I today, even I have several YouTube channels. I'm testing out a lot of niches, and one is entirely AI. I've been learning like crazy, and I'm a very quick study. So that channel is actually starting to get traction. I have another channel that's a prayer channel, and that one's getting a lot of traction. So even in my 70s, I'm still very viable in terms of my knowledge, in terms of wisdom, in terms of all those things. But when people look at you somehow or another, all of that is diminished. And in this society, we don't have a great respect for seniors anyway. Once we start looking a certain way, talking a certain way, walking a certain way, whatever it is, when we start changing from that youthful appearance, we're just simply non-existent in the eyes of most people. And it can be pretty depressing if you let it. I just kind of look at these situations and listen to them, and I might for a minute sit there and ponder, but I move on because at the end of the day, it's the ignorance of the people, right? Just because you're aging doesn't mean that you're incapable. It doesn't mean that there's no place in society left for you. Quite the contrary. You're the one with all the knowledge. You're the one with the wisdom. You're the one with the mature strategic thinking. You're the one with mature critical thinking. You have so much to offer, and your knowledge is simply wasted. Where I do get a lot of pleasure and where I can offer services that are valued is in volunteer work with different organizations where, if it's a nonprofit, they're in dire straits for getting resources. So I do get appreciation and recognition from that, but I really rely on the appreciation and gratitude for following and living the word in the Bible. I believe that there's only one audience, or an audience of one, that I need to please, and that's God. So that also helps me to be comforted by the fact that even though society sees me as less than, I know that I'm still a child of God. I know that I'm still, as long as I'm drawing breath, a valuable resource. And so I use those resources in my volunteer capacity, but I'm just shocked, I guess, that so many people just dispel you. You don't exist. And that's bothersome. And sometimes, because I'm a solo woman as well, I'm single. I've been single since 2004. And on purpose, I have not dated. And it is not because I don't have options, or there are people who would love to take me out. that's not the case. I'm still very viable that way. Men still see me as attractive. I'm just not interested because I am such a no tolerant person for certain behaviors. And once that's exhibited, I'm out of there. And my favorite word is next. So, and I'll be talking about that more. I've already mentioned in other videos that I will, but I'm trying to, at this point, figure out what angle I'm going to use, what approach, because I don't want to hurt anybody who's still living. There are a couple of those who have passed away, and I don't want to hurt their families or whatever by divulging too much about them and their character, their true character. But I do want to talk about each of those relationships relative to where I was in life and my mindset, and how much of my background and my upbringing contributed to my short tolerance. And so we'll get into those things. But anyway, enough of that. And I just wanted to jump on here and again introduce myself. And I've changed the name of this channel. You'll hear me refer to you all as Vibrant Vibers, and that's because when I created the channel initially, I was thinking there are so many vibrant senior citizens, and I really wanted to have a platform where we could build a community and kind of have a transparent and open space where we could discuss those things that do bother us, especially those of us who are single, whether we're single by divorce or being widowed or widower. We had a spouse pass away on us, but I know a lot of times, especially when we're in long-term relationships, that it's very difficult for us to get back out if that's what we want to do and start that whole social process again. It's very challenging. So we'll talk about things like that too. We'll definitely talk about dating, and I'll share some of my experiences, one in particular, oh my gosh. And leading up to my just not really wanting to, let's put it this way, he would have to just knock me off my feet. I would have to be so impressed, because I'm attracted, and always have been, to a person's mind. And so things like looks, I've never been into that. I was married to a man one time who literally looked like Idi Amin. Go look it up, Google it. This had to be the most atrocious looking man. But because he was so intelligent, he could quote Shakespeare verbatim, never skip a beat. He was just brilliant. And that was the attraction there. And we'll get into all of that later. So this is just my kind of reintroduction to myself, because I do want to revitalize this channel. I've been paying attention to more of the other channels, and also do want to share with you different ways to supplement your income. If you've been looking at the news at all, you know that there's a possibility that if you're living on Social Security income, which is part of my income streams, we should unfortunately be looking at ways to survive. And so I also want to share some ways we can do that even at our age, because if you're looking at this channel, you're viable enough to start your own YouTube channel and turn it into a money machine. So anyway, again, I had no script, you can tell. Even when I have even when I have scripts, I tend to go off them, even in my professional career, because I read a room very well, and I know when I need to change strategies, and that's why my career was really successful. But anyway, thanks for listening to this montage of non-structured words. And I hope you come back and help me grow this channel. I welcome you into my family. Please subscribe. And if you have other friends that want to have a place where they can go and actually be heard and have a voice, because I will be having live streams as well And I want to hear your voices. I want us to get to know each other. I want to know what your struggles are and share what my struggles are. And starting with this one, just being othered and being um, not important, and losing friends such that you can't even pick up the phone and call somebody and start talking to them. I want to discuss all those things and the impacts that they have on your mental health. I just recently, last year, November, I think it was, started seeing a therapist. Best thing I've ever done, period, especially at this age. And it's just given me a whole new perspective on life, a whole new perspective of myself and my value and my worth. And if you've never done that, I highly recommend it. Most medical insurance coverages will provide that for you. So I say take advantage of it. Um, yeah, it's great. It's great. But anyway, hopefully I'll be a bit more structured. Come on again, but there's no guarantees. It's like whatever I feel like saying, I say it because I can. But in the meantime, again, thank you for watching, and I look forward to getting to know you. So take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and be kind to one another. There's so much evil in this world. And turning it around starts with one person. Let us be a community that focuses on turning it around. Okay? Take care.